Hey guys, Stacey Clarity here with Danny Anthrop and Kyle Chargers for segment 2 of Gold and Black Live. Let's just get right to it. You guys all know this guy anyway, so we don't really need to introduce. Obviously the local guy, big star now, leaving Purdue. What did you think of your career here?
My career was, something that was kind of tough to deal with injury-wise, but
Yeah.
I think when I was healthy and when I got to play, it was really exciting for me, and, I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish with every opportunity I had, and, I don't have any regrets about anything I did at Purdue, and, it's just been a heck of a ride, and able to play all over America and
Yeah.
all over the Big Ten.
How many stretches of uninjured play did you have? Even as a high school senior, right? You had the wrist
I had
injury then, and then there was something as a freshman, right? You would know better than me. There was a lot.
Yeah, I didn't have really any injuries in high school. Just the risk at the end of it was after my season. I injured during the season, but didn't get it repaired until after. And then I was fine my freshman year, and then during bowl prep is when I kind of hurt my ankle and ended up having to get surgery on that. And that was probably the easiest rehab I ever had to do. They're just like, yeah, just kind of walk around and you'll be good. So, that kind of gave me a false sense of what rehab was for my ACL injury, because I was like, all right, well, it's not too bad for other injuries, but the ACL injury is a lot different. And, nobody really knows what they're getting themselves into when they have something like that happen to them. I don't think you can really prepare for that. So, that was a kind of a life-changing experience, but, I'm kind of grateful for the lessons it taught me, but, it was definitely something hard to go through.
And you had the MCL injury in between those two injuries, and I think at the time you said the MCL was like awful, and how can it get worse? Everybody's like, it's not an ACL. It could be worse. It's not an ACL.
Yeah.
And then you had the ACL, so you're like, okay, great. So now what can they say to you after you have the ACL? Nothing.
Yeah, there's not much you can say after that.
I had everything. Senior day, I think, was probably pretty interesting for you because we had reported was that this week? The exit interview with Danny was on the site this week when we sat and talked last week, and you had said you got your knee drained. You had, issues with the bursa sac in there and got it drained. Felt great for that last game, but, it's senior day, so you're emotional, but you're feeling good, and then you played pretty well, and then you lose the game. I mean, just kind of what was that day like for you?
It is kind of crazy because Friday is when I got my knee drained, and it was something that we discussed kind of a lot leading up to that. But we didn't like the big risk is that it can get infected, and then also you don't know if it's really going to work out where it goes away and doesn't come back. It's because I'd be swelled up after every game, so we just kind of assumed that. They'd take it out and it'd come right back in by the next morning. So
That quickly?
yeah, they said
Wow.
the bursa sac works kind of crazy like that. So it's kind of a big risk on our part, but it paid off for us, and it hasn't come back. And then senior day was fun because my family was all in town. Drew was in town, but all of us haven't been together in a long time. So we actually used the picture from senior day as our Christmas card this year because it's the last time we've been together. And it was a lot of fun being able to play fast and kind of go out there one more time with the guys that I've gone through 4 years with at Purdue, and it was a lot of fun. And obviously disappointing with the result.
Are you willing to say now what % you were at all season? Were you at 80%, 85%,
He didn't read the exit interview.
100%?
I think it kind of varied game to game, really, because there were times where I felt pretty good early on. Virginia Tech, Bowling Green, I felt really good, and I played well in those games. And then it kind of depended on if I got through practice without a scratch, or how much I had to do depending on the game plan, because we had a lot of new stuff in about every week, so I'd have to get some reps. But it was tough to do because I really couldn't practice a whole lot. So I would say, sometimes like 75%, sometimes like 95%,
Yeah.
and then like the IU game, I felt like I was 100%.
You mentioned the game plan, so we might as well just go right into that. The varying degrees, or whatever we're calling them, week to week of the different game plans. Was that necessary? I might as well just be point blank about it, I guess. I was going to sugarcoat, and I'm like, well, we're on the live show, nobody's watching. Let's go.
I don't know if it was really necessary or like if that's how you want to put it, but I think it was just the approach we decided to take depending on different opponents, because there were some game plans that were very similar for the type of teams that we played, because, if a team played a lot of cover 4 or a lot of man, we just kind of stick with that game plan for the next week. There were about 3 weeks where we did about the same thing, and, it was good for us. But, we changed it up a little bit. Against Wisconsin, we ran the ball a ton. But then after that, the wide receivers, we said that we want to be involved a little bit more, and not just in the block game.
Who did you say that to?
We talked about it with all the coaches, and they understood because but that was the game plan going into it. We kind of knew how it was going to go. So.
Did you just bring in a Keyshawn Johnson book and set it on Daryl's desk?
No,
Read this.
I didn't do that. But,
We would like the darn ball.
Yeah, it was something like that. But it really helped the receivers because it showed that we wanted ownership of what we were going to do, and we had to be accountable for the production or the mistakes we had after that. So it really kind of held us accountable for the rest of the year because we were willing to put ourselves out there.
You're not the only one who hated the Wisconsin game plan.
Well, he didn't exactly say that. We don't
I
wanna
was
put
putting
too many
those words. I was
in his
putting
mouth.
those
I know.
words in his mouth.
I
for
tried
him.
to do necessary, and you're coming in with, hey, he hated it. We're going to tweet it out. Who knows? It'll turn into a New York Times story or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Any regrets about playing this year, knowing that you fluctuated between that 60 to, or whatever you said, 70 to 95%?
Obviously, you'd like to be full health, but at the time, people come back all the time. Like 6 months, Cam Posey came back
Yeah.
in like 3 or 4, and I probably didn't I was a little naive in thinking that I could come back the way I did, but going into it, I thought I felt pretty good, and after we did figure out how to kind of manage it because it was such a unique set of injuries. It was like the ACL meniscus and the bone bruise. So you had to account for all 3 of those, and you can't treat them all the same. So, the easy answer is just be like, yeah, I wish I would have redshirted. But, at the time, I can't say that because, if I was good enough to play, I had it already made up in my mind I was going to try to play.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because there are questions coming in, and it's obvious who they're from, so
Did you
he's trying to read them.
did you feel pretty good the first couple weeks of training camp?
He's gonna
Feel
be
pretty good the
distracted.
first couple weeks of training camp till you started to wear out?
Yeah. I feel like it was just the overall effect of like day to day, continued impact on my knee. And I had the bone bruise, which I'm really grateful I don't have it anymore. It makes it a lot easier to do everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sore when I wake up in the morning, just stretching out. So, that was really hard to go through and do that because it's something, when you have any other kind of injury, once you get through something, you do something, that's kind of like a stepping stone. With the ACL, it's not really a stepping stone. It's like, oh, you just kind of did that, and now you're going to be sore, and you're going to be hurting tomorrow.
The knee-high grass you played in at Wabash probably didn't.
That probably didn't
I
help.
totally forgot about that. That was horrible.
Yeah, it
I
was,
mean, you tweaked. I don't know if tweak is too strong a word, maybe, but
yeah,
the grass wasn't good for you to practice that day.
it
really.
didn't help me. It didn't do me any favors. I had a scar tissue breakup.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first times it's happened, and that was kind of scary. But it's happened a million times since then.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt as bad or really at all anymore, just because it's the natural healing process.
Okay, so let's go to some questions. You can also ask questions via chat if you would like. We have 3 from one particular person, but we'll start with this first one. So coming up, who were some of the guys on the team that helped you out coming into college, and how did they help you get acclimated? The tag on this comment is from RK Relentless, so I don't know if you know that person, but I think he's maybe seeking a specific answer here, so we'll see.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine who that is. But coming in to college, my senior in high school, actually, I got to know Ricardo Allen pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So he was probably the first person I really had contact with. And I still talk to him today, and he's had a great career.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy for him. And then also when I got to Purdue, and right before I got to Purdue, I met Ryan Russell, who is really good friends with Ricardo. So, he really helped me out. Just kind of giving me the heads up on things, and I still won't forget when he threw me in the cold tub freshman year with the rest of the D line. But
That sounds
he helped me get acclimated.
That's
the
how
cold
you have to
tub.
get
Yeah, to the cold tub.
Thank you, Ryan, for contributing. He's down in Dallas right now. Well, you're going to go see him soon, though, you said, so that'll be fun.
Yep, I'm going to go down there January 2nd, stay there for a few days, see his game, and then I'm going to go out to New York and visit my brother. And then, so that's going to be like the only break I'm taking from training, but I'm sure I'll find a place to work out down there and out in New York.
Yeah, that'll be fun. He also asked Hazel or Hope. I wasn't going to ask you that one, but who cares? But Ryan, you misspelled Hazel, so
Yeah.
could have been, maybe just a typo. He was trying to go too fast on his phone or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare the two coaches,
They're totally different.
yeah, they're totally different.
Yeah.
Coach Hazel's more of like a manager and
Yeah.
really business-like, but Coach Hope's the guy who brought me in and really took the risk on me. I still keep in contact with him, and he's a guy that I'll be thankful for a long time that he gave me the opportunity to play at Purdue. And I have a very similar feel for Coach Hazel because he didn't recruit me, and he took risks on me by playing me and trusting me with the role that I played. And they're different in that way, but the way I feel about them is very similar.
We're asking tough questions today, man.
Well, those weren't mine, so that's okay, right? Did you? Oh, you just saw my phone go off. We're not going to sign that right now. There is another question from Ricky. He said, "Who taught you the spirit of competition more, your mom or your dad?"
Ooh, well,
That's a good question. I was going to ask you who the best athlete is in the family, so maybe it kind of goes.
my mom is easily the most competitive person I've ever met, and it's to like a ridiculous extent. Like, I've noticed that more as I get older, but she'll compete in anything you can imagine. And especially ping pong, which I finally started getting wins over her. And she blames it on her declining eyesight. I don't think I really believe that.
Can't she wear contacts?
I don't know. She said that she,
It doesn't help.
yeah, it didn't help.
She was were you telling me or Drew was telling me? Because I did a story for like Mother's Day, and they were saying even the steps, like you had like Fitbits or whatever, and she'd be
Yes.
like, "How many steps did you walk today? I have like 50,000."
Yeah, she's
That sounded funny.
always getting something. And, my dad, he coached me from, I never played T-ball, but I played like the Pinto League. And, it's the, I forget what league
Pony
it is.
League baseball.
Yeah, Pony League Baseball. Not Little League Baseball. Little League is not the real deal. So you got to go Pony League. So he coached me in that through, like basketball and, because he probably wanted me to play basketball more than football. But
I'm sure he's really disappointed in you now. Then
yeah, I convinced him to let me play football. Him and my mom, they didn't want me to play football. And they also didn't really want me to run track. They wanted me to play baseball. And both of those sports actually helped me get a full ride scholarship. So,
take that, parents.
There's too many injuries, though, in football.
Well,
You've shown that.
I have
haven't you?
shown, yeah, I was injury-free for a long time. I think I probably jinxed myself at some point.
Can I go again?
Sure.
So I get a text message that asks, when your worst fear is realized and the Wi-Fi is down and you can't play Xbox, what do you do for fun? This is from an inside source.
I'm a pretty big gamer, so now that I'm done with school and all I'm doing is training, that's kind of what I do in my off time when I'm not hanging out with the family or anything. And yeah, Drew knows that. I saw he asked that question, but when the Wi-Fi is down, I just try to get the Wi-Fi back up. That's what I do.
Oh. He also wants to know what you're getting him for Christmas.
I already told him that. I'm
Oh.
getting him.
Come on, Drew.
I'm getting him Harry's barbecue sauce, and
that for real? Are you
I'm gonna
saying?
give it to him. And he's gonna use it to cook. So I did it this summer,
Nice.
and take a little piece of Harry's home with you.
Oh.
I feel like
That's
this interview
nice.
has gone off the rails. a
I know
little.
it has, sorry. This is what happens when you let other people ask questions, I guess.
So why did you guys lose this year?
So why did we lose?
I love these transitions. We are horrible. I'm horrible at this. So this is off.
Like I said before, if there's a simple answer, I'd tell you. But
Anthony's scared over there now. I can see it.
I'm not really sure what it was. I know that there were times when it'd be one reason or another, like the offense wasn't clicking or the defense, wasn't doing what we thought they'd do. And when you get into those moments where it kind of spirals out of control, you have to stop the blood flow. And we had trouble doing that a couple times, but I really couldn't tell you. I know the offense didn't do the defense any favors, and we'd go 3 and out time and time again. And that was hard to kind of understand. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited for the guys coming back because they learn these lessons and then they can apply them in the spring and then this fall.
I wonder if we're going to ask the same thing. Go ahead.
We'll see. If the Marshall game goes differently,
Oh, no.
does the rest of the season go differently?
I think so. That first game's huge, and that first play was kind of crazy. Where we had the pick six, and I think they blew a defensive coverage, and because Austin read it well, but the cornerback was where he shouldn't have been if they were running that coverage, and he made the right read, but it went horribly wrong for him, and If we win that game, you just get that momentum, and then you win the next week against Indiana State, and they're 2-0. You can play the what if game like all you want,
Right.
but it didn't go our way, and
Yeah.
it kind of led to bad things.
You said that you thought having experienced what you guys did this year would help the guys next year, but you could have said the same thing about you guys 2 years ago, going into this season. So, and it's something that I talked to Coach Hazel about yesterday too when we sat down. It's like, okay, if you need to be mentally tougher, how do you become mentally tougher until you actually rise to the occasion in a game?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I asked him, and that's why, because I don't know. How do you do it? I know Coach Carlisle tried to train you guys, in the off season, kind of helping with the adversity and stuff, but
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I'm with you there.
It's one of those unanswerable questions. a
Yeah,
little bit,
I don't
right?
think you can answer that one. That's a tough one. And I think that, the changes that we made, I think that whoever does come in, because you can get rid of people, but if you don't bring in the right guys, I think
Yeah.
they're going to bring in the right guys or take guys from within the program and put those guys in position to make changes on their own. I'm excited. Any of the offensive coaches on that staff, Coach Parker, Coach Malone, it would be awesome to see those guys get the opportunity to coach. Because you don't know how hard it'll be to bring somebody in.
Right.
Because they'll know the situation, and they've got to have a good season next year. And I'd be excited if Coach Malone or Coach Parker got that opportunity
Yeah.
to throw the ball around, because I think that's what they'd do, and that'd be
Yeah.
exciting for the receivers coming back, and I think the whole offense.
Is that what Purdue should be, in your opinion? I mean, you've grown up watching Purdue the last however many years when you started watching.
Long time. I've been watching that as long as I can remember. But
But they've had the most success, it seems, when they've thrown
Aired
the
it
ball
out.
around the yard.
yeah, and I think that's Purdue's overall identity. Great quarterback play and a team that can throw it down the field. And I think you have to be balanced. You can't just run the ball one game and then decide to pass the ball the whole next game. You have to find a balance somewhere. We have running backs like Markel and DJ that can do the job well. And to be fair to them, you gotta have them involved. But those are two guys that can also run routes and they can catch.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to get the ball in their hands. But I think with the personnel we have right now, throwing the ball would be our strength. And I think you can say the same with run the ball because the offensive line coming back and Markel and DJ being sophomores and juniors.
Yeah. I think to me that's why I was excited about the offense going into the season, because of what we had seen, with the potential tempo changes with like the 4 receivers, and then, really, okay, 50-50 balls, let's chuck it down the field kind of a thing. And it never really seemed like it really kind of became that offense, at least consistently. I mean, because talking to you before the season, you were excited about it too,
Yeah.
because probably everything you just said, like,
Yeah.
ooh, we get to be receivers in this offense that's going to get us the ball, and
Yeah.
it just didn't consistently become that offense, I guess.
Yeah, the hurry up offense, or the no huddle offense,
Yeah.
I should say, is kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand you're moving fast and you can catch the defense off guard, but if you have a 3 and out, it's killer
Right.
because your defense had probably a minute of rest, and then they're coming back out for a long drive. So I'm not sure what the next guy is going to do, but if it were me, when you're starting to struggle or you're having trouble picking up drive, maybe huddle up a little bit, take some time.
Yeah.
But it's going to be exciting to see what these new guys coming in are going to bring to the table, and I have faith in Coach Hazel and whoever he chooses, because he's going to be totally invested in this choice that he has to make.
we can rule you out as a candidate then?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna bring me in as the OC.
Oh, we almost had breaking news here
Yeah.
on Black Live. I don't think
Yeah.
that's ever happened before. That would have been fun. Time is up, though.
We can do Star Wars spoilers.
No,
We haven't
no.
just
Please.
ruin
No.
everybody's
Don't do
weekend.
this. Don't do this.
He thought that 20 minutes would go by slowly, but it didn't, did it?
No, it wasn't bad at all. Now
Yeah.
I'm excited for AB to see what he's about to do.
Yeah. So we'll bring in Anthony Brown next for the third segment. We'll be right back.